Hello, my Oscar-accepting, unconventional conventionalists, and welcome to another Bad Girls Rants. Now, this is something that I wanted to talk about on Monday, but given my work schedule, I've only just now been able to get around to speaking about it now. You all know what it is. It's the slap heard around the world. Yes, the Oscars. As we are all very much well aware, Chris Rock made an inappropriate joke about Jada, Will Smith's wife, and Will Smith's solution was to walk up on stage and bitch slap him right across the face. I don't need to show the clip because it is literally everywhere. Just do a search here on YouTube, on Google, anywhere, and you will find a clip of exactly what happened. Matter of fact, the entire Oscars is on HBO Max, and they left that part in. I was very surprised. I thought for sure they would cut it out. I got quite a few opinions to share. First and foremost, the joke itself. It was tasteless. It was inappropriate, and it shouldn't have been made. I think jokes about medical conditions just shouldn't be said at all. But that's really the only defense on Will's side I have. Because everything else after that was just absolutely inexcusable. Because, yeah, at a joke at his wife's expense, Will was completely valid to be angry. But there is so many better ways that he could have handled it. For example, just allow the Best Documentary Award to be given out, and then commercial break begins. During that commercial break, when the cameras are off, go up to Chris and just be like, "Hey man, that joke you made about my wife, it was really inappropriate, and you owe her an apology." I guarantee you, Chris would have walked with Will to where Jada was sitting and issued a sincere apology to Jada, and the same lesson would have been learned. But in this scenario, the entire thing is solved privately between the three of them. But that's not what Will did it. No, his solution was to bitch slap Chris in front of literally millions of people. And Will's career is going to suffer for it. But, controversial joke aside, I have to give Chris all the credit for the professionalism that he displayed on stage. He could have struck back and there could have just been a full-out brawl at the Oscars. But he didn't. And here's something really impressive that I myself did not notice. It wasn't until I watched a video by a behavioral psychiatrist who broke down the body language of the entire encounter, and he noticed something that I didn't. The initial slap, Chris recoils, and he actually winds his arm back and starts to make a fist, but he stops, and he relaxes again. Chris thought in the moment. He, for a second, was ready to defend himself. He was like, no, I'm a professional. Stage of millions, not going to happen. Now, from what I understand, majority of countries actually muted the audio of the exchange after the initial slap, but a couple of them left it intact. Japan and Australia for sure. Maybe more, but that's all I know for certain. You hear Chris take the defensive. The second time Will says, keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth, he responds, yes, I will do that. I will do that. So he's yielding. And that was very grown up of him. And even after that, he's just kind of like in awe of what just happened. You see him like look to the side and he's like, you do that that blink, that quick blink, like, okay. And even then after that, he kind of fumbles his words a little bit. He says, we have some documentaries to give out. I mean, Oscars for Best Documentary, but he is keeping it together. You see a little bit of struggle, but this man is a professional, and he kept going, and he maintained his composure, And I have nothing but the highest respect for him for that. And I mean, if we're really picking sides here, I'm going with Team Chris, because although I do not approve of the original joke, everything else after that, it was just so professional, and he handled the whole thing so well, and Will's behavior was just like a high school student. But let's continue. Let's talk about Will's acceptance speech. First of all, why the fuck was he allowed to make that? Why wasn't Will escorted out of the building immediately after he assaulted a fellow celebrity on stage? Will should have been escorted out right away, like during the following commercial break, and left outside to think about his actions. But no, he was allowed to sit there and continue watching the show and go up on stage to accept his Oscar. And I don't think that's right. That does not sit well with me. Either someone else could have accepted the Oscar on his behalf, another actor in the same movie, or even, the director of the movie could have accepted it on Will's behalf. It's just, why was... this is like celebrity privilege right here. This is it. Alright, if you wanted a prime example of celebrity privilege, here it is. And, okay, he was allowed to accept his Oscar and make his speech. Oh, he was crying, he felt bad. Well, guess what? That doesn't make it okay, alright? Crying does not make you the victim. And although he issued some apologies, he didn't apologize to the one person he owed an apology to the most, Chris Rock. And we were all waiting for him to apologize to Chris Rock, and he did not. It wasn't until the next day on Instagram that he finally gave the apology that was due. And I'm going to link that as well. That's going to be linked in the description below. But here's something that really bothers me. Makes me genuinely concerned. On my social medias, I have seen women making the commentary that I need to find me a man like Will Smith. You want a man who immediately resorts to violence as a solution? Really? And, if that man gets angry at you, what do you think's gonna happen, honey? Yeah, it's not gonna be pretty, especially not for you. There's another perspective that I want to be considered here. What if, instead of Chris Rock, it was Wanda Sykes up there, and she's the one that made the G.I. Jane joke? Do you think Will would have reacted in the same way? And if he did, would you guys be supporting him on it? Under no circumstance is violence ever the answer. It should only be used as an absolute last resort. The only time anyone should ever resort to violence is if either their own safety is threatened, or the safety of someone they love and care about is seriously threatened. Being upset about a poor taste joke is not an excuse. Before I let you go, I want to hype you guys up a little bit. Coming late next week is another Bad Girls movie review. And it's the first time I am reviewing the sequel to an earlier movie review. That's right, we're reviewing Sonic the Hedgehog 2. So don't miss that. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell with your dick so you know when I upload new content. And until the next video, I love you guys, stay sexy, and keep on masturbating. Salute!